They're seeing if they can push one of the planes back like an hour and a half.
Look who's gonna lose her job in a couple of days because I'm gonna do some magic.
In the past few weeks, influencer culture has, once again, found itself at the center of online controversy. What might seem at first glance like harmless drama or exaggerated internet outrage actually reveals something much deeper: a growing frustration with privilege, entitlement, and the lack of accountability in the influencer industry. Today, I want to walk you through two viral situations involving influencers that sparked intense backlash online. Not to fuel hate, but to analyze why people reacted the way they did, what these stories say about power dynamics on social media, and why so many viewers are simply tired of seeing the same patterns repeated over and over again. The first case involves the influencer Marco Ayala. Unlike the next influencer we'll discuss, he appears to be fully aware of his actions. He deliberately showed only part of the situation in order to make the business he was at look bad, effectively misleading everyone who watched the video. Let's take a look at this video together.
Buddy, I gotta get you out of here.
What rule am I breaking just for eating? I can't eat here?
You have to purchase a beverage in the bar. This isn't a sit-down restaurant.
Just to eat a bagel?
Correct.
Yeah.
Just to eat a bagel, you got to be 21.
I'm
Either
21.
that, or we can call Metro and they can help
Well, I
you
can't
out.
go anywhere because you have my ID anyways.
I give it back to you, buddy.
You go back to?
Yeah. I don't keep IDs.
I got it, John.
Thank you, John. My ID.
Congrats, babe, but you're not allowed to eat in here. That's all.
But what law am I breaking? I just want to eat my bagel. I'm tired.
You can eat it right out here. You have to purchase a beverage in the bar to sit down and eat.
Power trip. We're gone.
No, stay right here. We'll call Metro. They could explain it to you better.
You just said to eat outside, so I'm gonna go eat outside.
Oh, look who's listening now.
I don't usually have time to deal with humans like this. But thank you anyways. I was gonna browse the menu, but y'all rude. Apparently you can't just enjoy the vibes. What happened to community? This girl, but karma will get her. The universe is always on my side. Divinely protected. And she said, look who's listening. Look who's gonna lose her job in a couple of days because I'm gonna do some magic. It's just very...
So, he posts a video in which restaurant employees appear rude and unjustifiably aggressive, kicking him out for seemingly no reason. At first glance, the narrative is clear: workers behaving badly and an innocent customer being mistreated. What the video doesn't show, however, is the crucial missing detail. The bagel he is eating was purchased from a completely different place. It is entirely normal and standard practice that if you sit inside a restaurant, you are expected to order something. At the very last, a drink, as the waitress said to him multiple times. But what angers me the most is not even the initial situation, but his entitled attitude at the end of the video, and especially the fact that he openly threatens the worker's job. These were people simply doing what their job requires. Unfortunately, in the comments, people immediately encouraged his behavior, writing things like, "I wonder if she lost her job, haha." What's so funny? What's funny about people losing their job because of a video that's not even contextualized? Wow, hahaha. To which he replied, "She will soon." But remember, guys, spread love, kindness, and positivity. You're gonna see a video later in which he says exactly what I'm saying right now, so I'm quoting him. Guys, let's spread positivity and kindness while I try to get this girl fired. So coherent. Then we have "just wrote a review cause nah," and another comment saying "I left a review cause..." I don't know if I can say it. To which he replied, "Thank you, you're such a kind soul for that." Do you know who isn't a kind soul? You. A huge number of people left negative reviews for the business based solely on a 1-minute video on TikTok. And this is where the situation becomes genuinely disturbing. How can people take such a serious action, one that can have real devastating consequences for these workers, based only on the version of events told by an influencer who intentionally omitted key information? Haven't we learned by now that we cannot blindly trust everything we see online? Imagine being a business owner and suddenly finding your workplace flooded with hundreds of negative reviews from people who have never even set foot there. People who are objectively unable to give an honest or informed rating, simply because they believed a random guy on TikTok. You do not play with people's livelihood. Ever. What makes it even worse is that Marco, instead of realizing the damage he caused, doubles down with a smug, superior attitude, acting as if he is untouchable and entitled to special treatment. Some of his replies to criticism make this very clear. When someone comments, "Did you purchase there?" It's not uncommon to be asked to leave an establishment if you don't purchase anything there. Yeah, it's rude, but not uncommon at all. He responds, "There's bigger problems in the world than me eating a bagel at 9 a.m. waiting for my flight." Yes, there are bigger problems actually, like trying to get workers fired just because they enforced basic restaurant rules. Another person writes, "You have to buy something, it's not about karma." Right? And he replies, "I don't think it's that deep that I hit my bagel at an empty table while waiting for my flight, Brie." But it doesn't stop there. He posts yet another video. Before watching it, I just want to tell you to keep in mind that in the comments under the previous video, someone tried to defend him by saying that the airport is always crowded and that there are never any available seats. So explain this. The very next video he posts clearly shows a massive number of empty seats. So if there were so many free seats available from the beginning, why did he choose to sit inside a restaurant? But let's watch this second video that I'm talking about here.
I just got kicked out from eating my bagel at a restaurant here in the airport. A homeboy came up to me so rude, and I was sitting down. He was like, excuse me, I need to get you something. What can I get you if you're gonna be sitting here?" And I was already like, "Well, it's too early for this. May I help you?" And I took out my earphones, and that's when he said, "If you're gonna be sitting here, you need to be 21, and you need to order a drink." Like, the need is just, whoa, I don't need to do anything.
Yes, you actually do. You need to follow restaurant rules just like everyone else. You're not special.
What you need to do is step away. Because I'm divinely protected, and things are gonna go bad for your life. So I'm warning you, you know? I felt like telling him. But that's when he came up with his little backup lady, and they both approached me and they were like, "You need to order something if you're sitting here, and you need to make sure you're 21. Are you, buddy?" But like kind of downplaying me, you know what I mean, when they try to belittle you. And I know who I am, so I don't get insecure.
What you not being insecure has to do with all of this? I feel I need to tell you, because apparently you don't know it, that being confident, so not being insecure, doesn't equal to I have the right to be rude. Everything he is saying right now is so ridiculous, and the fact that in the comments people are encouraging him.
I don't need to get rowdy, but I was just looking at her like, yes, I'm 21, and that's when I showed her my ID, and she was like, "Oh, congrats!" Well, you still can't sit here unless you order a drink. But very just rough and harsh, like, yeah, if you want someone to order a drink, how about hand me a menu and tell me welcome, you know? Like, I just did not feel welcomed at all at that establishment, and it was horrible. I'm gonna go back and get the name, might as well, but that was my little experience. And then once I just decided, like, okay, I'm not gonna deal with her nonsense, I was like, yep, you're on a power trip, I'ma leave. And she told me, no, stay now. Look who decided to listen now. And I'm just confused on, girl, like, you want me to leave or not? Now she's saying stay here until security gets here. Is security gonna have to find me? because I'm not waiting for nobody. The heck? So I dipped on out of there, and she tried to follow me, and I was like, go ahead, I'm not signing no autographs. I'm not taking pictures, you can stop following me. But yeah, now I'm eating my bagel in a little alone area, because I can't with humans sometimes. Take me back to space, to Saturn.
I also wanted to point out that the workers appear increasingly rude, but you have to keep in mind that these people are in contact with the public all day long. So after a few times that I tell you something and you respond to me in a rude way, like, why can't I? What rule am I breaking? Maybe, yes, after a while, since I'm human, I start to be slightly rude. It's possible. Doesn't mean that these people are rude every day with every client. I just wanted to point out this. So, but overall, I wanted to say that his tone, his body language, and overall demeanor are arrogant, dismissive, and deeply disrespectful. And honestly, these videos perfectly summarize why people are so exhausted by influencer culture. In the comments, someone writes, "Don't bring outside food to a different restaurant." Exactly. It really is that simple. And also, it's basic common sense. Another comment reads, 2.3 stars now, and the reviews you guys put made me laugh. And this is infuriating. This is disgusting, honestly. There is nothing funny about people's jobs and livelihood being put at risk. There is nothing funny about it. Let me make this very clear. I don't joke about that. This entire situation, from the influencer's behavior to the mob mentality in the comments, is disgusting. But still not satisfied, Marco posts a third video. Let's take a look at it, shall we?
My bagel was bomb, my flight was safe, I'm watching The Grinch, I'm about to decorate a tree, life's still life and still mad. Just walk through this life with positivity, happiness, and light, and trust me, it'll be way easier and it'll get rid of the demons who walk amongst us, sadly. When someone is projecting a negative reaction, it is a reflection of them, not you.
How funny. I think that he is saying a lot of things that are true, but he thinks they don't apply to him. But actually, every word that comes out of his mouth, I'm like, yeah, you need to listen to what you are saying and actually practice these things.
Therefore, it has nothing to do with the scenario that happened or what I said or what I did. It is truly what is going on in her heart and soul and how she feels at the moment. And if that's not great, great. I hope you heal and are happy.
I hope you will heal and be happy, but I'm still trying to get you fired. Make it make sense.
But I'm gonna move on forward. I value my time and energy sacredly. Therefore, in that airport scenario, I was not gonna place it where it was not needed. She did not deserve the Marco vibe, but you know what I mean? So I had to step away from that and not give an argumentative response. It has took a lot for me to get there, but I'm proud of it. And I encourage you to do the same. It's way more relaxful and a peace of mind. It brings me clarity and peace instead of feeling so clogged up in that. You know what I mean? Just forget it, let it go. It happened. We can move forward and learn from it. Because everything and everyone is a lesson. So just take that with grace and patience when you walk through life. And I love y'all. Keep being you always and forever. And don't let anyone try to push you over or tell you what to do in the same earth that we walk amongst each other as a family, as a whole. You know what I mean? We do not deserve to be rude to each other. Let's just respect everyone and treat everyone with kindness.
But did you treat everyone with kindness? Because it certainly doesn't look like it. I personally agree with these comments. You were not respectful, or you misled by not disclosing where you purchased the bagel that you were eating. Right. But unfortunately, we can also read comments like, they were at 2.2 review rating and they deleted reviews to get back to 3.5. Wow, hilarious. I honestly have nothing to add. This entire situation is deeply unsettling, and the fact that it's treated like entertainment makes it even worse. But let's move on, and before analyzing the second case together, it's important to take a step back and provide some context. For those who don't know, Tripping with Tarte is a marketing campaign by Tarte Cosmetics that involves taking influencers and content creators to exotic, luxurious destinations, often tropical paradises, with the goal of launching new products and generating buzz on social media. These trips are entirely paid for by the brand, meaning they are completely free for the influencers who are invited. Recently, however, one specific situation sparked controversy due to what was perceived as an influencer's out-of-touch attitude. In fact, before the trip even begins, drama starts. One influencer in particular, which is Tiana, posts a video showing that she is late for her flight and therefore likely to miss it. The video I'm talking about is this one.
Leave it to me, y'all, to miss my bag check time. Essentially, we are flying. Everyone's flying to Miami, and then we're all leaving on 2 different planes from Miami to Turks. And I missed my flight to Miami, so everyone's gonna be gone when I get there. I don't get to fly with my friends now. And that's my punishment. That's what I get. That's what I get for spending an extra time scrubbing off this fake tan. But this would be me. This would. They're seeing if they can push one of the planes back like an hour and a half so that maybe I can make it. That's like our hope and dream. Am I expecting it to happen? Not really, but it's my hope and dream. Because then if they push one of the planes back, I get to hang out with everybody and arrive when everyone else arrives. JSX, pull through for me, please.
In the comment section, we can read some of the reactions. Girl, what? This is so out of touch. Then we have this convo. I can't believe people are so pressed about you missing a flight, LOL. And someone replied, people are pressed she wanted to hold up a plane an hour and a half because she missed her free flight to her free vacation. And we have another convo similar to this one. Don't get why everyone's mad. Does it seem slightly privileged? Yes. However, she lives a different life than every single person on this app. People acting like y'all never late. That's life, she's human. And someone replied, again, it's not about her being late. We obviously can all relate to that. It's her expecting an entire plane to be held back an hour and a half just for her. But before commenting and sharing my thoughts, let's watch the response video she published after this first one went viral.
Hey guys, my whole page has been dedicated for the last 2 years of showing what a hot mess I am, and that I make mistakes, and that I'm human, and that there's nothing perfect or aesthetic about me at all. Me missing that flight for Tripping with Tarte was just that. Something that I shared that was human, and that a mistake that I made, and I wanted to update the public, as I know going on the Tarte trip is something that people want to be included and involved in. And things to explain. I've never asked the plane to hold for me. I don't even know who I would call to do that. That was never an option I thought was possible. That was a suggestion texted to me of a potential option that might be able to happen. It didn't happen. And in fact, I said, guys, no worries, I will come tomorrow. They know we're family. They know me, they know my heart, they know my loyalty, they know my dedication, they know how much I love the brands that I work with, my responsibility in making sure I am the best I can be for them. They know all that. So when something like this happens, we laughed it off and we said, no worries. They said, no worries, we're gonna make sure we handle this. So this happens every year. There's so many people that come on the Tarte trip, and at least 1 or 2 people, flights get delayed or mixed up and things happen, and I was the one who fucked it up this year. And I didn't like that. I felt really irresponsible. I felt really discouraged. I felt like it was really rude that I did that. I felt really disrespectful. None of this was intentional. And in fact, I definitely wouldn't have missed my flight on purpose. But I already felt all these things. And although they weren't communicated online, because you're only seeing 30 seconds of someone's life, the calls behind the scenes were just that. Regretful. How sorry I was. What can I do to help? And no one made me feel bad. They're just amazing. They care so much about who they work with and their partners. No one made me feel bad. No one on the trip, no creator made me feel bad. Everyone was just there for me and checking in on me, asking if I was okay. Like, we're all human and we all make mistakes. We're not these little perfect robots running around. This is me. I'm me. I can only be me. I've tried tips. I medicated where I can be. I tried tips and different tips and tricks to whatever. I haven't missed a flight in 2 years. One of the comments I got was 2023 Tiana would hate 2025 Tiana. It's like, where are you getting this? Like, 2023 Tiana was missing all like so many flights. I don't know. It's just cancel culture's difficult, and it's so rooted in something deeper than you guys thinking I'm just this entitled whatever. If you know me, you know me. Some might hate me, some might love me, but I'm pretty consistent down the line, and I have a lot of love and a lot to give that's not based on mistakes that I make. People made this really not something it needed to be, and like big creators were talking about me in an awful way. These news outlets were talking about me in an awful way. We're just not meant to see this. We're not meant for this. This wasn't the first time it's happened, and you guys, I hate to say it, but it's not going to be the last. We're all just trying our freaking best. We really are just trying our best. And Tarte team, I love you. Thank you for always making me feel like family and just helping me where you could, helping me get there.
Thank you for inviting me and having me, and thank you for all you do for your community and the people around it. Tarte truly gives back so much, you guys. And if you are a follower or a supporter of mine and you understand my heart and my intentions, and you took the time to stick your neck out for me in one of these comment sections, I really appreciate you, and thank you. Every single creator and plus one on that trip is amazing. Thank you for making me feel like family and just making me feel like I wasn't an issue. It helped me a lot because I did feel like an issue. 2026 is the year of just staying true to you, being yourself, loving yourself as you are, doing your best.
So, in here, Tiana explains that she was not the one who asked for the plane to be held for an hour and a half, but that this option was offered to her. Watching the video and reading the comments, I noticed that many people are confused as to why there have been so many negative reactions. However, I think that the core reason behind people's anger in the comments of the first video is quite clear. None of us would ever be offered something like that. On the contrary, in real life, the exact opposite usually happens. But stay with me, because what I'm trying to say has nothing to do with being envious, okay? I don't think people are envious or jealous of influencers. Influencers are a category that often receives privileged treatment. And this is simply another example, one that happened to go viral, of that dynamic. So the frustration comes from the fact that in the vast majority of jobs, this kind of privilege simply doesn't exist. Now, in the comments, some people pointed out that just a week before, users were angry at Jaclyn Hill because she was no longer considered relatable. And now, when an influencer posts something that should supposedly be relatable, missing a flight due to an unexpected situation, which is something that can happen to anyone, people still are not okay with it. I read many comments saying exactly this. The issue, however, runs much deeper. People forget that this vacation, despite being fun and luxurious, is technically a work trip, and missing a work flight isn't relatable at all. In real life, showing up late to a work commitment is not acceptable, especially when it involves a business trip. In most cases, you will risk serious consequences or even being fired. The fact that Tiana can afford to miss a flight, laugh about it with the brand, and treat the situation lightly highlights the privilege at play. She shows no fear whatsoever about how the brand might react. This is because in the influencer world, brands cannot afford to be angry, as they rely on influencers to sell their products. In any other job, This behavior would be considered unprofessional. On top of all of this, she is offered a solution that would never be proposed to any other worker. Considering all of this, the question becomes obvious. What exactly is relatable about all of that? The answer is nothing. This is an enormous and completely unjustified privilege. The fact that she, as an influencer, is so accustomed to this kind of treatment that she fails to recognize the power dynamics and inequality behind it says a lot, not just about her, but about the influencer industry as a whole. And this is precisely why lately so many people have been increasingly angry at influencers. This backlash is often dismissed as jealousy or envy, but it has nothing to do with either. People are simply tired of watching certain categories enjoy extreme privilege in terms of income, treatment, or opportunities without any real justification. We're talking about influencers, not doctors or nurses, who perform infinitely more valuable work and would deserve far more recognition and benefits. The influencer world makes it painfully clear how distorted the system is and how everything seems to work backwards. And for those of you who are saying like, yeah, well, influencers aren't the only privileged category, like there are millionaires and multinational companies or whatever. Yes, you are right. Yes, there are other jobs that are also unjustifiably privileged. And it's true that people are tired of them as well. The difference is that influencers operate online, in plain sight. So the influencer industry is the only category that allows people to express their opinions directly. At the end of the day, these situations went viral not because people love drama, maybe also because of it, but because they expose a system where certain individuals are repeatedly protected, excused, and rewarded even when their actions harm others. If anything, these stories should remind us to be more critical about what we consume online, to question narratives that are conveniently incomplete, and to remember that behind every viral moment, there are real people dealing with real consequences. Thank you so much for watching this video and for caring about these issues. As always, we're not gonna see each other until next Sunday, which is the 27th. So it's the right moment to say to all of you, Merry Christmas, enjoy your holidays, and we're gonna see each other next Sunday. Bye.